Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week.
Multiple fire crews responded to a residential structure fire in Luzerne County on Saturday. According to officials, crews were called to the scene on Charlwood Drive in Butler Township around 7:30 p.m. Upon arriving at the scene, crews report that fire was present in the home and in the attached garage. Firefighters from Valley Regional, Hazel Township, Sugarloaf, Wright Township, Dennison Township, and Whitehaven all assisted at the scene. Crews remained at the scene until 11 p.m. No injuries have been reported.
An 18-year-old is facing charges after Larksville police say he stabbed a man 7 times. According to police, the incident took place at the Sheets on East Main Street around 4 a.m. Upon arriving at the scene, police say a victim was found on the floor near the cash register being treated for his injuries. The victim told police that Demi Jones-Gross of Kingston had followed him from a house party when they began arguing and a fight broke out involving several people. According to the affidavit, Jones-Gross was seen making stabbing motions with his hands during the fight. The victim was transported to the Geisinger, Wyoming Valley Medical Center in Plains Township for treatment. According to officials, the victim suffered 7 stab wounds and a collapsed lung in connection with the incident. Jones-Gross fled the scene but was apprehended later that day when he turned himself in to police. Court documents say Jones-Gross admitted to stabbing the victim and has been charged with aggravated assault, simple assault, and disorderly conduct. He is currently behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility on a $50,000 bail.
One person has died following a fatal crash in Schuylkill County on Saturday. According to Pennsylvania State Police, the crash took place on Mile Hill Road, just north of Lofty Road, in Klein Township, around 12:30 a.m. Officials say the accident occurred when the driver of the Nissan Sentra traveled onto the right shoulder of the road and struck a Freightliner that was parked there. Crews from Hazel Township, McAdoo, and Tresco all assisted at the scene to extract the victims from the vehicle. According to the Schuylkill County Coroner's Office, the driver of the Nissan Sentra passed away at the scene from his injuries. The front seat passenger of the Nissan Sentra also suffered severe injuries in the crash and was life-flighted to Lehigh Valley Hospital Cedar Crest for treatment. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce held their 23rd Annual Business and Community Awards Luncheon on Thursday, October 24th at Sand Springs Country Club in Drums. The Chamber recognizes businesses and individuals in the Hazleton area with 7 unique awards that highlight their work and dedication to the community. Several of the award recipients this year included Kingston Ballet Academy for Small Business of the Year, Niagara Bottling LLC for Large Business of the Year, and Megan Storenchuk, owner of Stray Threads, for Young Entrepreneur of the Year. We spoke with Vice President of Marketing for the Chamber of Commerce, Leanne Falabelle, about what this event means to the community.
I think that this event is it's really a heartfelt event, especially our individual awards like our young Entrepreneur of the Year and our Volunteer of the Year. They're individual awards, so it's just specifically individuals receiving them, and so they just hit a little bit differently. Our other ones are for businesses, and it really just highlights the businesses that have done outstanding work in the community growth throughout that last year. So they're really just outstanding members of the Chamber and of the community.
In addition to the 7 awards, the Chamber also presented 2 recipients with the annual Women's Empowerment Grant. This year's recipients were Anna Peralta Nunez, who is in her last year of the Registered Nursing Program at Luzerne County Community College, and Ruth Wheeler, a licensed real estate agent who is working towards her broker license. Nunez and Wheeler received $2,500 and $1,000 respectively. Falabelle also told us about the process of deciding recipients for the grant.
It really depends on our candidate pool. So it depends on how many applications we receive. Then our volunteer committee interviews the candidates, and we see how much money we have raised for that year, and then we just decide kind of based on, the committee decides every year how much they're going to give to each woman and how many women they're going to give it to. There have been years where one recipient was just completely outstanding and she got the whole full amount. And then there's been years where we just kind of felt like everybody was awesome and we divided it up equally, so it just really depends.
The full list of recipients and sponsors of the awards can be found at hazeltonchamber.org. The Nuremberg Community Players are inviting the public to enjoy an evening of laughter and antics with their performance of the mystery comedy, The Boarding House. The Boarding House tells the story of the matriarch Miss Harriet and her eclectic cast of boarders at the Home Sweet Home boarding house. The plot of the story kicks off when a mysterious couple arrives in search of legendary pirate treasure supposedly buried in the basement. The owner of the boarding house is played by actress Rebecca Schumann, who told us a little bit about her character's role in the story.
Well, I'm Harriet, the owner of the boarding house, and I'd say I can be sympathetic, but I can be sassy, and I can tell it how it is. And I'm always trying to push cod liver oil on everybody.
One character in particular who tends to push Harriet's buttons is Mr. Richards, played by Carl Rumble. Rumble said he enjoys acting out the interactions between the characters.
Well, Mr. Richards is an artist. He has a very high opinion of himself, but he is absolutely allergic to all things work. And so he is a bit of a freeloader at the boarding house, and that prompts a bit of an antagonistic relationship with the owner, Miss Harriet. And additionally, he mistakenly takes some medicated tea intended for someone else in the show. So some zany interactions ensue.
The show will be performed at the Nuremberg Community Players Emerson Theater on Friday, November 1st, Saturday, November 2nd, and Sunday, November 3rd. The Friday and Saturday performances begin at 7 o'clock p.m., with the Sunday matinee scheduled to begin at 3 o'clock p.m. Assistant Director Diane Rumble encourages the public to attend.
I think it's really important right now, especially right now when everybody's feeling anxious and upset and angry a bit. Just laugh. Just go out for a night, forget your worries and troubles, and just enjoy the show. It's very therapeutic to laugh. It's healthy. So have a good time. We need more of that.
To purchase tickets, you can call 1-877-718-7894. The cost per ticket is $15. Coming up on WYLN News, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Jim Thorpe, Part 4. Plus, we check in with State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's Weekly Update. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
WYLN News is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network. Do you remember cranking down the car windows so you can pump up the jam? If you do, schedule your mammogram online today. Visit lvhn.org/mammo.
My name is Charlie. I am 8, and the forecast for tomorrow is partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. FNL Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier for over 50 years, providing quality products and services to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry garage doors from leading manufacturers in the industry like Rayner. They guarantee parts and service for your home or business, from new construction to replacement doors, inspections, and service calls. FNL Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR or visit FNL Doors online at fldoors.com or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township or Schuylkill Haven.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Contact Pete Kasalika for a home and auto quote today.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
'11 saw the birth and mock junk of Edward Pfister. Awarded the Westinghouse Science Award upon his graduation from Villanova in 1937, he would go to work in Altoona on an electrification project for the GG-1, the world's fastest locomotive. In 1940, he would sign up for the Army Signal Corps and would be a major contributor to the development of radar. The timing for the system's introduction could not have been more prescient, as it was the use of radar to detect incoming German planes that helped the British win the Battle of Britain. Pfister, who would also help develop rocket and bomb proximity fuses, will receive a commendation for meritorious civilian service by the Defense Department for his efforts. He died in 2003 and is buried in New Jersey. Mock junk's good times, however, could not last forever. While the Lehigh Canal had managed to survive into the 20th century despite the rise of railroads, by the 1920s it was no longer viable for coal shipments. Transportation between the borough and Laurie Station in Lehigh County ceased in 1922, a decade before the entire canal shut down. Trolley service ended in 1925, and the Switchback Railroad had its last run 7 years later. Soon the once vibrant downtown faced a sharp downturn. Something was needed to turn its image around. And it came from an unlikely source. Jim Thorpe had been one of the greatest athletes of the early 20th century, best known for his exploits in the 1912 Stockholm Olympics and in the early days of the NFL. Memorably, Thorpe was told by Swedish King Gustav V, "You, sir, are the greatest athlete in the world," when the monarch gave him his Olympic medals, to which Thorpe modestly replied, "Thanks, King." Upon Thorpe's death in 1953, his widow Patricia was thwarted in her attempt to have a memorial built for him in his native Oklahoma. Word then reached her that the struggling Mock Chunk was looking for a way to attract tourists back to the area. Patricia struck a deal with the town's fathers to bury her husband there, even though Thorpe had never actually set foot in Mock Chunk in his lifetime, in exchange for them renaming the town in his honor. And so, in 1954, Mock Chunk and East Mock Chunk merged under the new name Jim Thorpe. 3 years later, Jim Thorpe's body was formally buried in an elaborate mausoleum high above the town Route 903. Despite numerous court cases over the years that have attempted to return him to Oklahoma, Thorpe remains buried in the town now bearing his name today. He looks down over a town that has seen a rebirth into a major tourist destination, one that has lived up to its name, the gateway to the Poconos, and once more thrives as it did before. The late 20th century would also see Jim Thorpe overcome a persistent flooding issue that had plagued it for decades. Flood waters inundated the borough in 1831, 1841, 1861, 1862, 1901, 1902, 1933, and 1969, just to name a few of the bigger floods. And so in 1972, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers would build a 50-foot-high earthen dam across Mock Chunk Creek high above Jim Thorpe, creating the 320-acre Mock Chunk Lake. The dam passed its first test almost immediately, holding when Hurricane Agnes struck Pennsylvania that year. Today, the lake is a popular local state park, bringing additional delight to Jim Thorpe area residents.
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined here with Dr. John. Dr. John, how's it going?
Hey, Brian, every day's special for me.
It is, and we're going to talk about, the weather's getting cold, and we're going to talk about dressing properly, because, there's some people that go out there in shorts, myself included in the past, but...
Well, let's talk about why, though. This human body was made by the great Lord to adapt. So the body, if it could talk to us, it wants us to get proper rest, but it wants us to protect itself, Ryan. I don't think we have to dress with, overly dressed, but my point is it's getting colder now. So I get these patients on a 20-degree below weather. They come in shorts and flip-flops. Again, legs, it could be, I played soccer in the cold weather, so legs I don't think, but like the head, for example. On these cold days, if it's windy, I tell my golfers, wear a winter hat. The head, the brain, emanates a lot of heat. So your body has an intelligence in it that wants us to protect it. Get your rest, get your exercise, eat properly. Protect the body by dressing warmer. So don't think you're manly by going to a football game with no shirt on or no coat on when it's 30 degrees on a Friday night football game. So dress warm enough, help the body to cope and adapt. I mean it, you'll have less sickness because then the body can sort of conserve some of its own energy to protect itself. So dress warm.
Yep, dress warm. It's getting cold outside, but I'd like to thank Dr. John for joining us on this Feel Good Friday, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. With an extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, everyday low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations, Route 93 in Escapec,
or downtown Hazleton,
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleeps better with Grand Central.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Jen was in a car accident, hit from behind by a truck, had a disc extrusion in her neck. A chiropractor should never crack a neck like that. We tapped it gently. She had other helpers like massage therapy, shots, cold laser. Her neck is healed. She doesn't need neck surgery. So check in this week if you have a bad disc on what your options are.
Welcome back to Watro's Weekly Update. I'm joined as always with State Representative Dane Watro. Dane, how's it going today?
Very good. The weather's holding out, not getting too cold yet. I'm doing very well. How about you?
Yep, I've been doing good. Very warm week here, and I've been enjoying it personally, so yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
For sure, yeah. It's going well, though. I spent the week in Harrisburg, so now I'm back home here, working the district, and glad to be back home. I always say I like working back here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of Harrisburg, I know when you were down here recently, you got your resolution approved for Veterans Day,
yes.
how we view it here in Pennsylvania. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. As you know, it's super important to me. We come from a community with a lot of veterans. Here in the Commonwealth is one of the leading states actually in the country with veterans. And I'm very happy to honor and support them every way I possibly can, as well as you and I'm sure of all our constituents. So Monday, the majority leader decided to bring up my House resolution, and that was to go ahead and recognize November 11th, which we all know is a national holiday honoring veterans. And this here is saying now the state of Pennsylvania here sets this day aside just for you as a veteran to recognize you. So like I said, it's important, it's very symbolic, and it passed unanimously. I wouldn't expect anything less, because we all in the House of Representatives, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, we all do support our veterans. So that's one thing I say we all agree on down in Harrisburg.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, it was really great to see just a unanimous vote from everyone, agreeing that it's a very important thing to recognize and honor in this state, as well as the whole country as a whole. So it's really great. It's really great to see that.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Veterans Day is close, very fast approaching on November 11th. So I always say when you're out there in the store, grocery store, if you have family members that are wearing that hat, or you just know that they're a veteran, put out your hand, give them a smile and say thank you for your service. It goes such a long way for them, especially our World War II veterans are dwindling, unfortunately, and my grandfather served in World War II, and I have uncles that served in Vietnam, so it goes a long way when you say to a Vietnam vet, hey, welcome home, because they didn't get to welcome home like I had coming home from Iraq during that war. So much to be thankful for our veterans. Thank you again for bringing it up. I could go on and on and on about it.
Absolutely. No, you can never thank and remember them enough, so it's really great to have that here. Right. I know you also recently with Senator Argo got approved funding for multiple areas within the area, including North Schuylkill, and even here in Luzerne County we got some funding approved. So if you could tell us about that.
Yeah,
too.
Some more exciting news. So the good senator and I, we work very closely together, and this is a prime example of how working with people, you get bigger and better things done. We're able to bring back millions of dollars with grant funding for our community, from school districts to local boroughs to townships, road projects to some infrastructure stuff, some vehicles. I was a mayor of a small town of McAdoo, my hometown, for 8 years, and these small communities, we struggle to make ends meet. You don't want to raise the taxes on the people, so you really work on a limited budget. And leaning on the state, they try to do that for some help so they could take care of their people. And we're able, like I said, the good senator and I were able to deliver on a lot of good essential things that are going to benefit people of our community. So I'm very happy to report that we're continuing to bring money home. That's my primary focus right now, is keeping taxes down and bringing that Harrisburg money home to the people here in the 116th district.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely a continuous process of just trying to improve these local communities here. And it's really great to see that now we have even more funding being brought to them, so we can get them the resources that they need to just keep improving and just keep getting better from there.
That's right, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know that next week you have an event where you will be speaking at with the Chamber of Commerce. They will be at the Top DA's restaurant on Tuesday, October 29th. And I know we were talking a bit beforehand about your approach to an event like this when they invite a guest speaker like that. And I guess I want to ask you about your process and like how you view an event like this, and where you're like the main topic of it, basically.
So Mary Malone, she keeps me very busy. She is a very good leader for the Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, and I got to say her passion it's there. She loves what she does. And I was at an event with her today with you.
Yep.
You're there too this afternoon. Great event, great turnout. And this coming Tuesday, early in the morning, 7:45, I think, is start time, 8 o'clock. And I was told I better be done by 9 o'clock because we've got to be somewhere else. I get to speak. I get to speak to my constituents, to our business leaders, our business community, and just our constituents. I'm going to take a different approach this year. I was there last year and I spoke, and it was about, what we're doing in Harrisburg, and you have me here every week, and we get to deliver that information. And this approach, I think I want to do a little differently, is talk about the different agencies, departments, networks that help me help people. And this is the time that I need to feel like I need to acknowledge the good work that everybody else is doing to make me be successful in delivering good information to them and work for them. So this is a different approach I think I'm going to take this year, and really talk about how businesses are actually helping me as a state legislator, because without you all and many other businesses that I'm probably going to discuss that day is the reason for my success. So thank you. Thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely, yeah. And as you said, definitely just working together and just that community aspect. Really, we can't do anything without each other.
Yeah,
so
you're 100% right.
Yeah, we appreciate you just shouting that out, and yeah, we hope it all goes well on Tuesday with that event.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And as always, I want to thank State Representative Dane Wadry for joining us on Watchers Weekly Update. We'll see you next time.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cher's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cher's is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialist, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.